Yeah, so I had 4 interviews this morning, and they were from Egypt and Mexico City. I was blown away with their stuff.
Really?
It was unbelievable.
Both
Yeah.
of both areas?
Yeah, both areas. One of them was doing 2 hours a day of talk time with a house wholesaling group trained by Eric Klein. I'm like, oh my gosh, like this guy's amazing. Like the fact that he wants to be a setter and he was previously closing, like, all right, he's going to be a closer. But yeah, so basically we're just going to be talking about the land business, where things are going, what's working well, what's not working well, things that you're learning, that these, our watchers can learn from without having to spend the time and money that we have. So like, I guess we'll keep it super open-ended and go wherever we want to. Like, what do you feel is happening in the market right now? Like, where do you want to take it? Like, what are you seeing right now?
Yeah. So for us, what do we have? I think we have maybe 36 properties in inventory right now. Of those, I think maybe five or six of them have title issues. There's kind of inactive deals right now.
Yeah.
I think we maybe have 15 to 20 of them on the market, and then another 6 of them scheduled to close at some point. And what we're seeing on the market, things have been incredibly slow for, like, we didn't close a single deal in September at all. So funny. We have not gone a month without closing a deal since I think it was last September. It's so funny. Both years we went through the whole month of September with no deals. So there might be something to be said about that. I'm not quite sure, but yeah, we just went through a lull where we weren't getting offers on our properties. Nothing was really moving. We're like, what the hell's going on? Like, our agents doing any work out here or what? And then I would say in the last 2-3 weeks, things really started to pick up out of nowhere. So in terms of the selling side of things, I feel like things are picking up. Yeah, that's what we're seeing.
That's good. You guys been putting some under contract then the last couple of weeks?
On the buyer side?
Yeah.
A few. We're going through some acquisitions mud here. So it's been really, really difficult, but I think we put maybe 3 properties under contract in all of September, but $275K in profit. So I mean, it's the same as if we put 9, or 9 or 10. So we're still pretty content about that. What we're seeing right now, and I'm not sure, it's a shift that I felt, kind of, not to get like spiritual with you, but like, it's a shift that I felt like my soul kind of pulling me toward earlier this year, was like getting getting away from double closing as your main model, getting into more like value add development, bigger stuff. And I just like running volume. I like just ripping, 2-3 contracts a week. Like that's I enjoy that. But what we've found, I think, is like, it's starting to be a little bit of a shift toward doing less volume and just doing bigger, higher margin deals, getting into more of the creative type, development type stuff. Like, we've got a property that we're going to buy, I think, next week. And it's a buy for 156, sell for maybe, we're going to list it at 800. But
oh my gosh, really?
Yeah, it's an absolute banger. It's 64 acres. The front 8 acres are zoned industrial, and the back, back 7, 55 acres or whatever are zoned residential. But we sent it to, we got in touch with an engineering company, paid $2,000 for a feasibility study. And they mapped out 30 single family homes. So we're going to turn the whole thing over to a builder. So it's like, now that we're seeing that, now I've gone through the process with that once, I'm starting to see those opportunities in other deals as well. And I just think where our company may be going is doing less flips, like focusing less on flips, like still having it as a key part of our process, but creating more space to do more of the bigger creative stuff. That stuff, like when I'm talking to engineering companies, when I'm talking to my agents that are like running back and forth to the town to find information on these deals, like that stuff gets me going. Doing a flip for, 5 for 60, sell for 100, 120. Those are all right, but I feel like if I'm not adding value, that I'm building an unsustainable business model. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You want to move up the food chain.
100%. 100%. I feel like it's a natural progression. I mean, I see it, all the killers in the space, I see that happening as well. But it's just funny, like that's started to unfold lately. Like we've had, a few of these small deals like fall through at the finish line. Just like ugly little title things come up on a deal that was going to net us 15 grand. And it was like, what are we doing? Like we're debating if we're going to do quiet title on a property that, we're going to net 17 grand on, like, so I don't know. I just feel the shift happening, and I'm not resisting it. We started setting up a lot of infrastructure inside of our underwriting and comping process around flagging. I've got everybody on my team now flagging subdivided potential lots, and I'm just hammering it home so that there's no way a deal gets to the offer table without us reviewing it for a subdivide.
So for that deal, that big deal you're mentioning, I mean, that's a mammoth of a deal. Are you doing any value add, or you found the right piece of property, you found the engineer?
Found the right property, found the engineer. We ain't doing shit to it. Now, I'm working with John and Kristen LeClaire. They're funding it, and their one rule with the deals they fund is got to have a good perk. So we're perking the 64-acre lot. I told the soil scientist, just I don't care where you do it. Just find a good spot and come back with a good perk. And that's all they said they needed. So like, other than that, we're not doing anything, literally nothing.
Sweet. That's an amazing home run deal right there. That's a grand slam all day.
Yeah. So then the funny thing is now that agent likes, I've got that engineering company. I've got that agent who's probably my favorite agent to work with. And we've got another property in a similar area. It's 130 acres. We don't have it under contract or anything, but I'm working with the buyer or the seller. But it's 130 acres. It overlooks a lake, one of the most sought after lakes in the state. And he wants $1 million for it, which usually we would just like, oh, you want $1 million? Like our little $200,000 offer, can't stand a chance to move on. But we started looking into this. And I was like, wait, knowing what we did with that, I wonder if we could do the same thing here. So now we're meeting with the engineering company tomorrow to see about the same thing. If we can do that, these lots are going to sell for 350 grand because they overlook a lake.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
So we're starting to see more of these. I have 3 in that same state that this agent is connecting me with that engineering company on, and they all could be potential. Just do the initial planning and flip it.
Wow. Do you see this as a full business model to just do value add, or will you keep your double close, your flipping business going at the same time?
I would keep the flipping business going at the same time. And the thing is, like, if I was just looking, I don't know what I would do if I was just looking for those deals. If I was just looking for those deals, how much money would I be throwing out? What kind of marketing would I have to do? I don't know. But I think the reason those deals have fallen into my lap is because of the volume of marketing we're doing. Right? It's like if I go looking for them, I might not find them like that. Yeah,
this happens. Like it's like a byproduct of sending enough mail or doing enough texting or email, whatever the marketing channel is. Yeah.
What I do see, and I've been thinking about this a lot this week, is like, how can I feel like I've created, I talked to you about this in Dallas too. I feel like I've created a monster with my business. Like I've created this business that it feels like chaos inside. It feels like everybody just needs me. And it feels like it's very dependent on me. And I naturally find a way to overcomplicate things. So what I do see is simplifying the core business model, getting it down to where I've got, maybe we'll talk about this, one good lead manager or setter, one closer who's just incredibly average, who's seasoned and doesn't need to be managed over, like looking over their shoulder kind of managed.
Yeah.
Where I don't need to be on top of every day. And between that, I mean, I can get one closer, 3 contracts a week, ripping 6 offers a day. And that's one setter sending them 10 leads a day, or is it one setter taking 10 calls a day, setting them up for 6 offers the following day, ripping 3 contracts out of that every single week. If I was getting 3 contracts every single week, and let's say 1 in 10 or 12 of them were like these bangers, that's fine. Like I'm telling you, my business we haven't done 3 contracts a week since the fall. And my business has never felt better than it did when I was getting 3 contracts a week consistently.
Yeah.
And I look and I'm like, I don't need more than that. That's a $200 a month business if you do that consistently.
Yeah. Yeah. No, 3's, I think that's a great spot to be in, because then you just go up the food chain, like you said, because once you have, 40 deals in escrow in inventory, it gets insane. You have perk tests here, soils here, or surveys there. Like it is so hectic, and we're going through that too. But yeah, acquisition was killing it. Dispo slowed down. We fixed Dispo. We put like 9 under contract to sell. So then Dispo was doing amazing. And now acquisition's slowing. Like, I mean, that's business. Like everyone on social media talks about how it's so amazing. I don't know. Do you see all those ads for the infill land flipping?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. They have me on their pixel. I get maybe like 2 or 3 ads a day. And they're just like trying to sell this, you know, oh, get the Lambo, get the high rise in Miami. I don't know if you've seen those guys.
Yeah, dude, and
they're doing 2K rips. Like they're advertising, because for most people it sounds amazing, but then you realize like they're doing the exact same thing we're doing for like 20K deals, 30K deals, 50K deals. And I was talking, I was on a call with this guy, this for like 40 grand a month. It's so consistent with infill, which is why he liked it. But he's like, dude, yeah, we're doing like 30 deals a month right now. He's like, I'm going crazy. And that's why he wants to get in the Royal Rec space, because he's like, dude, I just do like 2 of these deals a month. It's like the exact same thing.
100%. Yeah. Well, and it's like, so we've and you guys, I know you guys set up your business in a similar way. Like we always go for these base hits, right? We underwrite at a $25,000 margin. And, you know, if we consistently go for that, some fall short of that, right? And it's like, we're not going to pass on a $16,000 deal that falls into our lap. But also, if we're always going for $25,000 deals, if we're always shooting for singles, we get the occasional double, the triple, the home run just by nature. But we're not looking for those home runs. They just kind of fall into our lap. Like we locked up one of our deals last month was buy for 95. It's 2 22-acre lots next to each other, buy for 95, and we'll sell each one for at least 95. So it's like we're seeing these deals that are like, you know, 80K plus deals a lot more often now. And that feels incredible, because before, dude, I remember, you know, my first year into this, I saw y'all ripping big deals, and I'm like, man, when am I gonna have my time? I haven't had a 6-figure deal yet. And now it's like they're coming. And now that 80K deal, that's like 4 of those, you know, 20, 25K deals.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, it's insane. They moved the needle so much. What do you think changed? Like, what's the biggest factor for someone that's at those 20K, 25K deals? Like, how do you think you got there? Just time in the business, marketing, did you switch? Like,
dude, that's a fantastic question. I think, I hate to be cheesy with the answer, but it's a huge part is volume. Like if you know, like if you're only shooting the ball 10 times, you know, your chance of, you know, putting it in the hoop is, you know, 1 in 10. If you're shooting the ball 100 times, you know, you got a lot more chances to put it in the hoop. So if we're doing 10 times the marketing we were doing, you know, a year and a half ago, that's a huge part of it. I think the other part of it is, you know, we're looking, previously we only had like we only had one way to make the sandwich. And now we have different ways to make the sandwich, right? If a seller like that, the buy for 95, sell for 190, that's a deal that we've got to cash close. Because the seller was adamant that we can't get more than 60 days on this thing. So it's like, shit, okay. And it's in an area where I don't even know if we can, I don't know if we can find the resources to pull a double close off there right now. But before, we would have been like, damn, like we're kind of stuck in a stalemate here. And we would have put him in follow-up and probably lost sight of it. You know, now it's like, all right, fine, let's just take it under contract. We'll figure it out, you know?
Yeah. Interesting. What do you think is not working anymore? Like what used to work a year ago that doesn't work anymore?
Bro, I am trying so hard to figure out mail. Yeah. I'm trying so hard, and here's the thing. It's like, if let's say 100% of my business expenses, 50% of them go to mail. Yeah. You know, like every month, 50% of my business expenses go to mail. And because we're sending 20,000 letters a month. And dude, it's crickets. It's absolutely crickets right now. And I don't know what it is. I mean, I know that our sellers are getting a lot more pieces of mail. They're getting a lot more people reaching out. It's way more saturated than it was back then. We're trying new copy. It's just, we're nowhere near I used to get 3 or 4 good leads a day, sending 20,000 blind offers a month, 3 or 4 good leads. And I was burying 1 closer. And now, dude, I haven't had my phone ring 3 or 4 times in a day consistently in a long time. So that's the biggest thing. It's like, I just feel like I'm burning cash. But when I look at my deal flow, it's like I don't know the exact numbers, but it feels like 80% of my leads are text leads, 20% of them are mail leads, but 50% of my deals are mail leads and 50% of my deals are text leads, or maybe even a higher percentage of my deals are mail leads.
Yeah. And that's the thing that I've talked to so many people, because we made the switch almost a year ago from fully mail to fully texting. And yeah, I've heard people say, like, actually this one guy, I won't mention his name, but he runs his business like a 2021 model. It's just him. I think he's got like a $5 an hour VA. He only sends 2-page blind offer, window, whatever. And he'll net like 600K this month net. And he works 10 to 15 hours a week. He said he doesn't know what to do. He's like bored. And I'm like, okay, so what do you, like, walk me through your day to day. And he's like, I send out my mail. He like does his marketing on Monday, sends his mail out by like Tuesday or Wednesday. And he waits and he'll get like 1 or 2 big deals a month. Like he's only targeting like this 50K, 60K, 70K rips and larger. And he'll do like a handful of deals. But he's like, I only need to do like 1 or 2 of these big deals a month. And my margins are so high because my only overhead is my marketing. I'm like, oh my gosh. Like people used to run their business like that. And then people wanted to build the teams. And there's no right or wrong, but it's just very interesting to hear, like, no matter what, it's still working. It's like, sometimes it's like, I don't know his volume. He didn't mention how much he's sending out, but just interesting. The fact that you're still getting 50% from
yeah. It's just, it definitely, it's not as efficient as it used to be, right? It's still profitable. It's still, I believe it's as of right now, it's still my most profitable marketing channel. So yeah, it's tough.
That's the thing with texting. You have to really dial in your team. And that's like, we had a really good dialed system and we're fixing a couple of things right now to get where we want to be, 3 contracts plus every single week. But yeah, it's like with mail, it's kind of when the leads come in and you like, they're lie downs, right? With texting, you got to filter them. You got to put them on drip campaigns, all about speed to lead, all that.
100%. Yeah.
Do you think sellers are more or less motivated now?
I don't know. It feels like they're less. So, I mean, I guess some of what I'm seeing especially with mail is, I mean, with anybody, they're getting offered by so many people, and it's not a terrible sales strategy to, offer high to get them hooked, get them on the phone and then talk them down. But the sellers don't know that that's the strategy, right? So they think that, that $80,000 offer they got is a serious buyer that's going to close on $80,000. So now they're only looking for, something that's in that range when, my 60 can't even carry water to that. So I think that's a huge part of it is they're holding out for a better offer. They're like, well, I'll just wait. I'll just get a better offer from someone else. Yeah. And, ultimately I think what happens is they end up getting stuck. They go under contract with someone. That person's whole business model is let's retrade them at the 11th hour, or, let's shop it around. And if we can't, we'll cancel it. So it's tough. I think there's just a lot of other people out there kind of burning it. That's kind of what I'm seeing, at least.
I see that too all the time. When I talk to sellers, like, oh, I got an offer for 100K. My offer on my comp sheet says like offer 40K. I'm like, oh my gosh, like someone's people like you said, they're just trying to get leads in their system. And they talk them down and talk them down. But I mean, I've done it before, many times where I'll send them blind offer at like 70. I lock them up at like 40, but it sucks. You're like bait and switch, like shoot, like I don't normally make this mistake. And sometimes your pricing is just off, right? But yeah, I definitely think that's changed sellers' expectations. It's kind of making, if you have all these people that are changing their strategy and they're offering more than they actually can offer, then the sellers start to get greedy, which means you need to become a better closer. And that's like a whole nother thing. Yeah, that's what we're saying. If you were to start over, like let's say you know everything you know now, you have like 20K in the bank, 30K in the bank, something like that to spend on this business. Like how would you start? I'm so curious to know, like how would you start over?
So I started with blind offers, and I had a small team, small show for quite a while. And if I were to start over right now, I would do the exact same thing. So what I did was I did that, but I used a interest-free credit card instead of 25K in the bank. And I came into Leah and, joined that program. I actually threw 5K at a different program first and realized I would got in the wrong room. Sent out 4,000 neutral letters and then joined Leah, and then realized I was in the right room, and I started sending out blind offers. Well, I got 6 contracts out of my first 4,000 neutral letters. I think I only closed two of them, maybe 3 of them. But it was 5 months, 5 months from my first deal, 5 months from my first mailer to go out until my first deal went full cycle. And I made 31K on that first deal, double close. Wow. And, so it was like I was out of the red in theory after that first deal, but I did blind offers for a while. And I feel like I had my blind offers dialed at a level that nobody else I knew had, where we were getting a 0.4% response rate of the leads that we were getting, not responses, but of the leads we were getting, 1 in every 6.5. So 15%, 16% were converting into a $30,000 acquisition deal, $30,000 profit deal. So it was like 1 in every 6 people that called became a deal. It was just a numbers game. We took that to 20,000. And then if I could do it differently, what I did was, that was November. We scaled back our mail through the holidays, and we added texting, and it complicated our entire business like tenfold. Like it took something that was just humming, and it added this, it wasn't like this 2 + 2 = 4 kind of thing. Like it added a whole nother level of complication. Now we brought in a second closer. Now I've got 2 closers, trying to, I had to manage 2 closers, and my business was humming, and I complicated it too much, and I've never gotten it back to humming since.
You went from inbound to outbound kind of a thing.
Yeah. And then it muddied the system, because then, the attention I was placing on inbound, it started taking attention away from that to place it on the outbound. And then it just never quite got back up to that. So I would have doubled down. I probably would have went to 40K instead of slowing down mail over the holidays. I probably would have doubled it, or, added to it, and just kept dialing it instead of stopping it and then trying to get it started again, because it never really got started again. Like it's never been consistent since.
Gotcha. Would you say that was just because you were doing 2 things at once and you didn't have all of your energy on one thing? Or do you think texting sucks? Like, why do you think that happened? I
don't think texting sucks. I think it added additional factors that I had to manage as well. I had a closer I didn't need to pay any attention to. He just crushed. I had, like mail, it was easy. So it was just my marketing girl, my closer, and that was it. And then I had a text, and then it was like, all right, I have a texter. Now I have a new closer who I have to train how to close. Now that we have this text, now my marketing, I have to scale my marketing up more. Like I had to start tinkering with different pieces in the process. And also another thing I did, I kind of made too many changes at once. I wanted to take my response rate with my mail from 0.4. I wanted to take it to 0.7, and I made a couple of changes at the same time, and I took it to 0.2. So I took it backwards, and then I was like, oh shit, which change was it that took it backwards? Is it the market? Is it, that I went from 2 pages to 1? Is it that I changed my copy to this? So I, had to shift. I went right back to where I was, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna go back to what was working. And then, and that was kind of where I lost the feeling of it humming. Then I started tinkering too much.
Yeah. And that's the thing, is every time you switch a marketing channel, you're going to lose money until you figure out how to do it right. And then until you have the right people in the right seats. And it sounds like, I remember you were talking about your closer last February, and it was a very simple business. Like, he would just close these guys, rinse and repeat, 2 to 3 contracts a week. And was he ever handling the texting leads, or was that all your other?
No, he never talked to a text lead. No, he just did mail. Yeah.
I wonder if, I don't know, there's so many factors. It's so hard to narrow down what's going on.
Yeah, he was really good. And he was I didn't realize it at the time. I knew he was good, but I didn't realize how good he was until I've, worked with 8 closers since, and haven't seen anyone who's can be that disarming on the phone and just chill, cool, collected. So that was a big one. But it was his part-time thing. Like he was just doing it on the side. Like he was ripping, 2-3 contracts a week, making 10K plus a month as a part-time job while he was working his tech sales job. And I got greedy and I wanted to push for more. Like I was like, dude, I want you full-time. I want to hit the gas pedal. I want, blah, 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 blah. And, now I look back and I'm like, damn, like that was it. I just like, I get this, like, I want more rather than like, dude, let's just host with what we have and just like take it in, 12, 13 contracts a month with one closer, one marketing channel was supreme.
I'm surprised you didn't want to go full time. Who would, I feel like it'd be so hard to turn down. If I'm making 10 grand a month part-time.
Yeah.
Was working a couple hours a day. Like
he had 150K a year, tech sales job, wanted to buy a house in the next couple of years. So his W-2 job was pretty promising in that sense. Yeah, there's just a lot of promise there, like it was the stability. Yeah, I don't know.
Wow.
I get it. I get it though. Like, I mean, I think it could have been a great move, but I see where, someone like early on, like he was our first closer. He came in when we were 8 months into the business. And, so I'm sure he felt like, why would I leave this like startup for this, why would I leave this incredible startup company for this, this company that's still really in its infancy too. I think that's another side of it too.
Yeah. But it also shows how important a closer is. Like the quality of your closer is literally the revenue driving activity you have in your business.
It's the most important thing. Like in not having a closer that I don't have to worry about is I've realized that's the most important thing. And I've realized I'll pay more for a good closer. Like a closer that were to come in, for anybody that's watching this right now, if a closer were to come in and like, dude, I have real estate closing experience, like I'll just rip, like, but you don't have to like train, like do all that stuff. Like if they could prove themselves and they've like done this before with another company, like I would absolutely pay them well and just like, dude, just coast, do your thing and coast. Right. Because at the end of the day, it's the managing and the training and the, like cycling through different reps to find the right one. Like that is so exhausting.
It is. And I think a lot of people can feel that. And that's one of the reasons why I heard Layla Harmozy talk about the other day, like having one closer is a liability. Having two is not a sales team. It's just like I don't know what the word she used was off the top of my head, but she's like, you want to get to like a sales team, right? Because once you get to the sales team, you have the competitive aspect, which is internal, right? So now they're working against each other together though.
Mm-hmm.
You can provide, incentives, weekly incentives, like whoever gets the most contracts this week gets a gift card or $100 or whatever. And it's like, if you get to the scale, you can do a yearly trip. And like the top 2 performers get to go on the trip. And now they're like working so much harder. And most people in our industry don't get to that point where they have, 3+ closers. I think it's very rare because we've been taught to have the leanest team possible. And I think you definitely want to have a lean team. Like I want to have a lean team personally, but I want to find the sweet spot of like, how can I get the best, leanest team with like 2-3 closers, all absolute amazing studs or gals. And like from there, I feel like it'll have this compound effect where if someone's having a bad day, your entire business doesn't tank because you got 2 other people that are like picking them up. They're doing their thing. Like if your closers get sick, like there's no money. No money is coming in. That's another thing.
100%.
But then on the flip side, like, man, how attractive does it sound? And it's like one marketing channel, one VA, one closer. Like that also sounds like the dream.
Yeah.
For those people that don't have a team, or maybe they just got a team, like what does your weekly team meetings look like? Like how are you guys keeping your team accountable? Like is there direct reports? Like is there end of day reports? Like what does that look like?
Yeah, so everybody on the team fills out an end of the day report. We just have it set up as a Google form that zaps to a Slack channel for the EODs. So everybody does that, and they kind of each position has its own end of the day report based on what's unique to that role. Sometimes if someone's in onboarding, I'll tailor it to what they need for that, what they're working on. So they do that, and then let's see. In addition to that, we're not running a full team meeting right now where the whole company meets. We were running that for a while, but it just felt like a formality that didn't really feel like it was serving a purpose.
Yeah.
Now what we do is kind of each department will have its own meetings on a weekly or biweekly basis. So of course the sales meeting a couple times a week. The ops team, like my ops girl and any ops assistants on the team will meet with me once a week or for a little bit and kind of talk about what we're working on in terms of projects. The compers, we'll meet once a week and talk about what we're seeing, patterns, trends, things like that. So it's kind of department specific in terms of meeting. We just found that we can drill down and have more productive conversation if it's like that. I think as you start to build a team, it does become like we see the culture really grow when we do a team meeting.
Yeah.
At some point, and by doing that, what I found to really help is like people start shouting out each other. I want to give a shout out to so-and-so for, going above and beyond with me, last week when I was out and she covered for me or whatever. It just starts to create this really cool camaraderie.
Yeah.
I wrestle with the meetings things though. Like I put too many meetings on the calendar and then I'll just one day I'll like, be like, all right, we're scaling back our meetings. And then over time they'll accumulate. So yeah.
No, I get that. I guess 2 questions I have for you before we close out here. What bottleneck are you currently fixing right now?
It's a good one. It's a really good one. I'll share a very general one. I'll share a very specific one first. So right now I'm onboarding our new dispo manager, and she's incredible. And for the last few months, we've been without a dispo manager. So I've had an assistant, kind of a VA, helping out with a lot of the transactional type stuff, sending initial emails to title and things like that. But I've been kind of shouldering the load of working with agents and kind of nurturing sellers and stuff like that. So yeah, finally hit a breaking point with that and realizing, man, our deals aren't moving if I can't give them the attention they need. So kind of start putting out feelers and brought one on last week, and she's 4 days in now, and I handed over 12 properties to her today, and she's hitting the ground running. So that's like the big bottleneck, because once that's off my plate, she now has ownership. Like she's being paid a base plus commission on profits that the company makes, and her commission is tiered based on the percentage of our inventory that sells in a given month. So she's I guess driven to get more deals closed each month, a higher percentage of our deals closed each month, because that unlocks a whole level higher, and could even double her commission.
Yeah.
So that's great. Like I just got to a point where it's like, I want to pass ownership of our company's revenue cadence. Like, I don't want to be the one that's like, oh, we have no deals closing this month. Like, what the heck? Come on. Like, and if the person running my dispo isn't incentivized for that, I can't say that they own that either. So it's like, look, you own our revenue cadence. You own making sure that deals close every single month. And, otherwise we're not bringing in money. And for that ownership, I'm willing to give you a share in every deal that closes. So I feel really good about that and passing that off, because I think with her, I'll be able to take my eyes off of dispo at some point, or take my eyes more onto, the higher level projects. So that's the big one I'm solving like right now. And then another one, kind of an ongoing thing, is A players only. I think starting this business, you plug the holes in your company with just whoever can do the job, things like that. And what ends up happening is you outgrow them, and the company outgrows them, or we start moving faster than the speed that they can really handle, and we end up not being a fit long term. So we're kind of in the stage now where we've got A players. She's an A player, and now it's making sure that everybody that is on the team is an A player. So we're only bringing in A players. Like even now, what I'm looking at is people that I'm bringing in, like, I will only bring you in, for most roles, I'll only bring you in if I can see you potentially being able to lead people someday. Because I don't want to lead people. I want to get to a point where I'm not the cornerstone. So it's like, if I make sure that every new hire over the next several months can lead people, now, boom, I've set myself up before I needed them.
Yeah. And I was smiling because I can relate to that so much. Like, I think everyone can. And that's probably the biggest takeaway is hire A players only, and you'll save yourself so much time. But I almost think people have to experience what we went through, because it's so hard to take that much time recruiting and onboarding and training. But then once you realize, like, oh man, it's so much worse if I bring on a B player.
Yeah.
It's just worse. And B players are honestly the worst, because they're making you money, but that you could have someone better in the role, and you're kind of like blinded by it the whole time. Like, honestly, I'd hire a C player and an A player, because a C player you'll get out immediately. You can find the A player.
Yeah.
But that's honestly
It's
impact.
So I previously lost what I would call an A player, my dispo manager, a few months back. And when I did our exit interview, we talked about, any things that, were kind of like unsaid during the role. And she was like, yeah, like, the assistant that we had, the assistant to me that you had just like wasn't it. Like, she was slow, and she just wasn't, it was more work for me to like work with her than it was for me just to work without her. Like, and just learning that was like, oh shit. Like, I think of like a basketball team, right? Like, LeBron doesn't want to be on a team with C players. He doesn't want, like you want to be surrounded by all stars. So now I have, this new gal coming in, and I'm like, damn, like, how can I create the culture? It's almost like the others are now when you raise the standard, the rest kind of stick out like a sore thumb. The ones that don't fit kind of stick out like a sore thumb. So it's actually helping me evolve, because now I don't want to feel self-conscious about, bringing an A player into a team of like, so that's something that I'm
something bigger. Yeah,
that's exactly it. So it's holding me to a higher standard in who I hire. And it just becomes an evolution, but you have to start somewhere, right? Like, you have to start, and you have to create that culture and like evolve it. Like now, like our values, they were the core values that I created when we first started our business, right? But
so computer died. So I know we were talking about building a company that can not only recruit A players, but keep the A players. Do you think that's all about values and like how you hold yourself accountable, or what do you think is the biggest driver to keep them?
Well, here's the thing: is like, this doesn't answer your question directly, but I set core values a year and a half ago, right? And I just I pulled them out of the air based on what I thought I wanted to shape my company, right? And it was things like integrity and ownership and teamwork, and they were great core values, but they were chosen core values. And over time, we've ingrained that into our culture. But what we've found is there are certain things that show like that I notice in staff of like, wow, you don't take ownership. Like what's it going to take for you to take ownership of your work? And so it's like, boom, like now we hire and fire based on like, can you really take ownership though? So like before it was like accountability and ownership was a core value. And now it's like, taking absolute ownership has become a core value, because we've realized we cannot tolerate someone who doesn't.
Yeah.
Another one is like being someone you can count on. It's become one of our values now. It's like, dude, like if you are not someone we can count on, you got to go. Like this is a family, and you have a family counting on you. So being someone you can count on has become one of our values. So now when we hire, we're looking for like, will you take absolute ownership of your work? Like if that means sticking around later, if that means, whatever that means. And will you truly be someone we can count on? And will you like take that home with you at night, that you have a family that is counting on you at work, right? So now it's like, it's evolved into what our values really are based on the direction we're going. Like we've grown into these new ones, and that's helped shape how we hire. Because now when I hire, that's shaping my hiring conversations. That's shaping what I look for when I'm talking to someone. I'm asking less questions about what they've done in the past and blah, 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 blah. And finding out more about like, how do you operate though? Let me find out if you're the type of person who takes ownership. Let me find out if you're the type of person who can really be counted on, who can kind of figure things out on their own rather than running to me every time. So it's values based, but it's not the core value you slap on the wall. It's like, it's what you tolerate and what you like, how you guys move, I think.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate your time. If someone wants to connect with you, how should they find you?
Yeah, so on Instagram, it's Josh Pierce, JoshPierce.REI for real estate investor. And then I'm on Facebook, Josh Pierce as well.
Awesome.
Cool.
Sweet, dude. Well, this is a pleasure. And keep crushing it, dude.
Yeah, fantastic, man. I appreciate you.
Absolutely. I'll see you.
All right, cool.